All right, good morning, everyone. This is Bonnie Abramson with United Square Dancers of America. We are pleased this morning to have, as part of our Beyond the Dance Floor webinar series, Ted and Tonia Hofmeister, who are the general chairman of the 74th National Square Dance Convention. It's going to be held June 25th through 28th in Shreveport, Louisiana. There's Miss Tonia. And they have so many fun things planned. These two have been just crazy all over the place, promoting this convention, and they're here to tell you all the fun things they've got planned for you. Ted, take it away.
All right, Bonnie, thank you very much. It's a pleasure for Tonia and I to be here and be involved in this. And if you have questions, like I said, send them to Bonnie and go to me. Hopefully this will be somewhat interactive. It's been a while. I retired like 3 years ago, so I hadn't played on Zoom much in a long time. So this is it was a little different coming up with the PowerPoint. But again, hopefully y'all enjoy it. We'll be able to give a lot of good information and things that you don't know or haven't thought about the 74th National Square Dance Convention. And of course, as we start on this, as you see, we want you to come to the Dance on the Wild Side in the 74th National Square Dance Convention. If you haven't noticed, we've got a lot of gators because gators are our mascot. And we've had a lot of fun with the gator mascot as we've gone through this. As a quick introduction for Tonia and I, we have been dancing for over 50 years. We met square dancing. I found the picture on the bottom right there was actually the picture the year before Tonia and I got married in 1975 at the Arkansas Square Dance Federation Dance, where we were in a fashion show. But again, both our parents danced, so we're both second generation dancers. And where Tonia started at one club, I started another. We didn't know each other, but we were both started in 1969 taking lessons. And so again, we do have a lot of history and a lot of dance, and have been to around 10 nationals, as I recall. And we were the president of the Arkansas Square Dance Federation for 4 years prior to being general chairman. So again, it's a pleasure to be here, and just hope y'all enjoy this. And a lot of people ask, why Shreveport? And Shreveport's been very good to us. Visit Shreveport Bossier is actually the tourism department for Louisiana, and Shreveport and Bossier. They're sister cities across the river from each other. And they have been extremely active in helping us to promote Shreveport. And they've done a really, really good job. I've got a short little video. We're going to see if we can't make this work. So bear with me a second as we go to this video. Oops. And I may have to start it again since I was having a little trouble a while ago with the share function. Let's see here. Let me go see if I can find the share screen. So I'll go to this screen. And it doesn't work.
Do you know what eating cabbage can do to your heart?
Y'all tell me if you're
Cabbage is a
seeing this.
cruciferous vegetable that resembles lettuce and can be red, purple, white, or green. But what many people don't know is that it can have a serious...
Try the world for the last of the free men.
It's up on the top. There you go.
We're still seeing your screen, your PowerPoint.
Now.
There it is.
We'll start it again. All these helpers.
Try the world for the last of the free men. Searching high for a little bit of meaning. Well, I won't spend my whole life asking, how did you get by? I was born to survive. So keep my heart beating till I get it right. We fell asleep in the backseat of America. Oh, 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 oh. It's just the
Hey, I'm Larry Fleet, and this is Riverfront Revival.
Heck, you say.
Go back to your share screen and put your.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, yeah. You can tell I'm really good at this, right? So,
I'm sorry.
so we got, just want you to see that Shreveport is a great community. It's a very vibrant community. It's also the third largest city in the state, and it's just got a lot going for it. And I think everybody enjoys it because there is a lot to do. We'll talk about tours a little later as well. But the other thing is the Shreveport Convention Center. The Shreveport Convention Center, I think you'll see, even though it's large, it's also compact, and we've got everything in one facility. And so, you know, we're not running back and forth between facilities like some have been, which works, but we're just real fortunate that we're not gonna have to do that as much. So I'm kind of leaving it here a little bit just because I've got one more little quick video that I'm going to show you. So we're gonna go there and hopefully maybe I'll do a little better job. Maybe I won't. Everybody see that?
Yeah, we're seeing it.
Good. Get better.
Ted, did we lose you?
I don't know.
Nope, there you are. We just have a phone icon on the screen.
Okay. You don't see the video?
No, what we're seeing is, although I think that maybe is somebody else's logging in. Go back to your share screen.
Well, that's just what I'm trying to, it ain't there.
Are there,
I can't get to you.
okay, down at the bottom of your screen, is there a list of things that says like participants, chat, share, those kind of things?
The only thing on my screen is my PowerPoint.
All right, well, let's go back to your PowerPoint.
But the only thing I've got where all the people just left, all I have is Bonnie.
I've got all the people across the top, so.
I don't. I had them all on the side and they vanished. I have a Bonnie and a USDA.
Logo.
Here's a share.
While you're looking, Jim Masco's asking, they saw the parking garage connected. Is there a charge for the parking?
The charge is $4 a day with in and out privileges.
Okay.
That one I know.
All right. Let me go back to the.
Any ideas?
Go back in and re-log in.
I
Log
think-
out completely of the Zoom meeting and come back in.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go out and come back.
Okay.
I think you've lost the video side of your feed.
Okay, I'm logging out and we'll come back just a minute.
All right. Thanks. I'm going to pause the recording.
Weird.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Sometimes the video was, and
They're in a hotel, which is probably why they're having some connection issues. Come on.
All right, well, let me go back then to where I was at just a minute ago.
that's all the exercise I needed. That would be awesome.
All right, we're gonna get this, I'm gonna go back to the convention center again. But I have.
And it shares it fun. I don't know why.
There it went. Yeah, switch sides on me.
Let's see if we get the.
All right, here we go. You got it?
Yes.
All right. Just jump the top.
Yeah, we're close. It's some points like the kids. You know.
We're seeing the video, but no sound. Did you mute yourself? So I'm not hearing you either, Ted.
Okay,
Hear you. Still no sound on the video. Question, will flooring be installed over the concrete floors?
no, the concrete will remain as concrete, except you can't hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, you can
We
hear
just
me.
can't hear, we just can't hear the video.
Okay, well, that's okay then, as long as you can see the picture. We'll
Yeah,
have to figure that though for the next one. But yes, no, for the concrete, well, with concrete, but upstairs in the ballroom spaces, and I'll show you in just a second, the 6 rooms we'll be dancing in, those will all have wood. Bob Bars, who's done several nationals, is doing it all for us. All right, now we can stop.
so that makes sense. Anything that had carpeting on it, you're gonna put a wood flooring. But the rooms that are already concrete floor will be concrete floor at the convention.
That is correct.
Okay,
Share.
yeah, go back to your PowerPoint.
She did it for you.
Yeah, yeah, really. This is just weird to me.
Do you have any more videos?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
I've already decided I'm gonna skip one. I got one I really can't skip,
Okay.
but I'm looking for. Bear with me. Oh, I know one.
I was gonna say, if you want, I can go ahead and I think I've still got the PowerPoint up.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and show it and I'll just tell you, because this is goofy. I don't know why it keeps leaving my screen. It don't like me.
Well, come on. I'm having the same.
Actually, I know why mine's not there. It's because when I shut down, I guess I had to reopen that one.
Okay, so did you find it? Come on.
I got it up.
Oh, okay. Let me unshare then. Okay, we're not seeing yours.
All right. Going for the share button here, going in for the kill.
On the bottom there. That went away.
But I mean, I've got share, but it's I have nothing to share. It's not the PowerPoint. I got the PowerPoint, but it's not showing that as an option to pick up.
All right, let me go back to, and I'll do it.
Okay, it just ain't there. It's up on my screen, but it's not giving me that as one of the selected items that I can select.
Oh, come on. All right. So we've got that one. Well,
There you are.
okay. You want to talk about this one?
Yeah, that's actually that was the next screen. So you're just right. So in answer to the question, this is probably a good lead in is as far as the other. This is what we call level one. So you got upstairs and downstairs. So level one is the large auditorium. Each exhibition hall 1, 2, and 3 are all over 30,000 feet. And they're all concrete. And so those will all remain concrete. So for instance, the dinner and the show, the ceremonies and all that stuff is in exhibit hall 2. As noted, the live band variety showcase of ideas is in 3. The vendors in the plus hall and also concessions will be in 1. If you do the next slide is level 2. So to the left, A, B, C, and D, that is the ballrooms. So ballroom A, C, D, also room 205 and 206 are also dancing rooms. Those will all have wood flooring in. Bob Bars is going to put those in for all of us, for all of those halls. Also, if you see in the bottom left, trying to get a larger hall, was trying to get a little bigger spot. That spot is going to be the mainstream hall. Will be down there. Again, that's carpet, but it'll also be wood. It'll all be wood on top of it. So like I said, everything upstairs will have wood. With the exception being the teen hall. The teen hall will just be carpet. That's the bottom right-hand corner. I call it the round room. It's the Red River room, I think is what they call it. I just call it the round room. It's a neat hall. My original thought was it'd been really great to have round dancing in the round room, but we, didn't have round flooring, so it didn't make any difference. So if you go to the next slide. So we definitely want you in Shreveport, but a lot of people ask about where it's at, how to get there, that sort of thing. So it's a great location because we're right at the intersection of I-20 and I-49. As you can see from this map of the area. It has been amazing to me. A lot of people not familiar with the geography of Louisiana because Shreveport ends in port. They assume it's close to New Orleans. But as you can see from this map, it's a fur piece from New Orleans. And which also helps because to me, it's a lot closer proximity to a lot more people being up in Shreveport. Because as you can see, we're very close to Texas. Actually, from the city limits of Shreveport to Texas is 18 miles, and then it's about 35 or 40 to Arkansas, up in that northwest corner of the state of Louisiana. If you'd give me the next slide. Bonnie doesn't like the next slide.
Well, my computer doesn't want to go to the next slide. Well, come on.
I'm feeling better now. You're just doing that to make me feel better. I know. There we go. And so again, part of how do we get to Shreveport is the Shreveport Regional Airport. You go to the next slide. We do have a very nice regional airport in Shreveport. As notated there, it has 4 major airlines that go directly to 7 destinations. So you got Legion, American, Delta, and United all fly into Shreveport. So it does make it nice. But I have been asked about other options. I don't have a slide, but just so you know, some people may elect to fly into Dallas or Little Rock. Both Dallas and Little Rock are roughly 3 hours from Shreveport. So it's not that far of a drive if you want to do that. And you may have seen, a lot of us have gone to some of the different locations on Amtrak. Amtrak, you can get there, but it's a little bit more difficult because Amtrak, you can take the Texas Eagle, but you got to take an Amtrak bus from Longview to get you to Shreveport. So I got a feeling not a lot of people will do that. If we'd have waited about 3 more years, Shreveport is going to have a stop from Amtrak, but it's not built yet. So, or it's not set up yet. I guess the tracks are there. But again, we've got a lot of ways to get there, and we just hope everybody will come see us. Next slide. Lodging. So as far as the Shreveport Hilton goes, our headquarters, it is sold out. They were gracious enough to give us 250 of their 312 rooms, and they've actually bumped it. We're about 255 now, as far as rooms go there. Samstown, which is our the Dance Leaders Hotel. We actually ran out of rooms, but they were nice enough to give us an additional. Basically, they doubled it. We started out with 120. They've more than doubled it. They've allotted us out an additional 150 rooms, which is outstanding. Samstown is the second closest motel to the convention center, but it's also the second cheapest rates. So it's a good combination. And that's where the GSI Caller School will be at Samstown. And again, it's the second closest. But we've also got the Holiday Inn, Holiday Inn Express that are straight down the road, 0.7 of a mile. And then the Hampton, Hilton Garden Inn, and Homewood Suites are all just over in Bossier City, which is just directly across the river. And is the notation there? It's it's only 6 or 7 minutes. So everything there is really close. If you go to the next slide, there's no questions there. So with camping, we're tickled to death with camping because we do have the National Square Dance Campers Association is going to have their jamboree there the week before. They're also going to have it at the Louisiana State Fairgrounds. And the rates are $35 for full hookups, which is really, really hard to beat these days. It's less than 10 minutes from the convention center, so it's close. It's got full hookups. I also have the hospitality room, or the roundup room as they call it, which is a 4,500 square foot air conditioned room that we have that we're renting for all the people that are camping. Gives a great place to join. It's got a kitchen, it's got bathrooms, and that sort of thing. So it's just a great congregation spot. So again, we're tickled to death that we're able to not only have the camporee there, but we're also tickled just that we're able to get them with really good pricing for the campers that like to go. Actually, the first national that I ever attended, I was in a camper. So I got a little place in my heart, I guess, for the campers, because we've done a lot of campers over the years, and we enjoy camping. So I think they'll be pleased with that. Then another note, they did just remodel the bathrooms there. When we first looked at this, I was kind of scratching my head, but they've come through for us. They just finished those in the last 2 or 3 months. So the bathrooms and showers have been upgraded. Next slide, please. The GSI Caller School. Of course, GSI Caller School will start on Sunday at noon. It is at Samstown. As just mentioned briefly a minute ago, it is the other than the Hilton, it's the next closest motel. Just it's about 3 blocks down the street, and it's right there. Anybody that's looking to would like to know more about calling and being involved in calling, they do have some openings, and I'm sure that Tonia Oxidine would love to hear from you. And we are just looking forward to to that as well. So yeah, the Tony's email address there is there if you'd like to sign up, and or you, of course, anybody can contact me or Tony, and we'll be glad to give you that information. The next slide, please. Trail in dance. I think to me that's that's always a real big event for us. We always enjoy that and like to go on Tuesday night. It has amazed me how many people do not realize there is a Trails in dance on the Tuesday night of the convention. Just people signing up. We've actually had people add a night to come stay when they find out about the Trails in dance with Tony, with Jack, Jet, and Ted. They do a fantastic job, and it's only $15 a piece. So again, it's a good value. It's right there at the Shreveport Convention Center, and I think everybody have a great time that comes. All right, the next slide, please. Oh my gosh, Wednesday night, Dennis Swanberg for the dinner and a show. You can just do the dinner and a show, or if you just want to come to the show, that's fine. But Dennis is fantastic. He has been Tonia's my favorite comedian for a long time. We first heard him back in the 90s. And I think that, I mean, the signups, we've already got over right at 300 people signed up for this event. And he's a pretty well known, used to have a show called Swan's Place back in the early 2000s, maybe late 90s, that we used to watch. And I think it's going to be a real joy for everybody to get to see them. Tom, who's sitting here behind me, got to hear him live, a week ago? Last Sunday. And first time
he was at our church, and this guy is hilarious. You just got to imagine a guy his feet falling through the roof over a baptistry during the middle of a baptism on Easter Sunday, and everybody in the audience going, "What the heck is going on?" That is a story you got to hear.
But Dennis is really, really good. I would like to go to a video here if we can figure out how to get the sound to work. I've got a clip of one of his for y'all to enjoy. And so I'm going to go over to that, and let's see what we can do here.
He told that story about the baptistry.
I got a dear friend named.
Remember to post any questions you might have in the chat. We can address those while Ted's looking for his video.
Well, I've got it, and it's not giving me. Oh, that's share. Here we go. Looky here.
We got called, but
You got it?
we're sinners just like everybody else.
There it is.
You got him?
You need to understand something.
Yes.
We're normal, regular people. We're just regular folks. We're God called, but we're regular. We're sinners just like everybody else. And in our marriages, sometimes we have little tests and tough times. I know my sugar baby and I do. I don't like to call them arguments, maybe just discussions. There's a Hebrew word for that, bakar, which means a whole bunch of little. Little Bench and Con that day that had a little tiff, they had a little tiff, on that Friday, she just didn't think he did enough and wouldn't help out, and so they had a banquet that night, a real formal thing, really gonna be nice, ladies gonna wear the.
So I was like, I don't know, like, you're in the
So they had to go, and he's on staff. So you gotta go. And they're gonna have to fake it the whole night, you know what I mean? They're just gonna have to act like everything's fine. Well, sure enough, she's put on her formal, and she's got one of these long zippers, from the waist all the way to the neck, one of the long jobber dudes. She can't really get it all the way up, and she said, "Do you think you could help me with the zipper? Do you think you can do that much?" Oh, baby, old Ben says, "Yeah, I can do it. I can do it." He grabs that zipper, goes on up there, gets up there, and he thinks, "Well, I have a little fun." So he goes, "Look." And also, it broke it. Oh, baby. Oh, but he broke it. She said, "You did not break my zipper." They had to be there in about 15 minutes. He said, "I'll fix it." So we got some pliers, couldn't fix it. They had to pin it. She had to put a shawl on in June. You know what I mean? And so she's, I'm so embarrassed. I've never been so embarrassed. She didn't have another for me. I have to wear this. I have to wear a shawl my grandmother made. He said, well, you look good, baby. She said, oh, they get in the car. They get there. As soon as they get there, you know, they see people, hey, hey, great. Hey, doesn't she look great? Doesn't she look great? Oh, yeah, Connie, your shawl is really nice. I said, oh, my grandmother made it for me. I knew it'd be cold tonight up here. It's always so cold, you know, and I just thought I'd wear it to stay warm. And they went, yeah, great. Wish I had one. But anyhow, you know how. So they went through that whole evening and they got in the car to go home. She said, I have never been so humiliated and embarrassed in my whole life. And he said, honey, everybody saying you look great. They were lying. They were just being Christian. They get home. They go to bed. They don't pass go. They don't collect $200. I mean, they don't, you know, they just go to bed. She sleeps on her side. He sleeps on his side, if you can understand what I'm trying to say. Next morning, she gets up ahead of him, gets all dressed, fixed up. She started wakes him. He said, hey, what are you doing, Connie? She said, bitch, I'm going shopping. I'm going to buy me 2 formals. I'm going to charge him with a credit card. I don't care what Larry Burkett says. Oh, baby, yeah. So all of a sudden, he said, go ahead, be a bad steward if you want to be a bad steward. Go ahead. So she hooks him. She comes back that Saturday afternoon about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. She pulls up, and there's old Beans underneath his car working his heart out, doing something, changing oil or something. She gets out and carries all these bags, you know. She goes up by him and stands there, and he, about this much of his body is showing, you know, the rest underneath the car. She just looks down there and sees his zipper. And she just started tempted, and she goes, oh, puts stuff down, reaches down and goes, yeah, picks her stuff up, walks inside, puts her stuff on the kitchen table, goes back into the den, and there's Benji watching television. She loses it. She goes, he said, Connie, I'm sorry about the dress. I'm sorry about it. She said, I don't care about the dress. Who is underneath our car? He said, oh, Bubba from next door. He changed the oil in his car. I said, while he was at it, he changed the oil around. She went, he said, what's the matter? What's the matter? She told him what she did. He said, you did it. No, I did. I went out there. I didn't know. I thought it was you. She looked at him. She said, you go out there and you do something to fix it. She said, if you don't, and you better not let him know it was me. If you let him know, if you let him know it was me, you will not be saying what a fellowship, what a joy divine. You understand? He understood her language there, and he goes out there. Bubba's still underneath the car. He said, hey, Bubba, come on out. He told him. Bubba does not move. He squats down there and looks underneath there. Bubba is out cold. He pulls Bubba out, slaps him on the cheek, said, Bubba. Bubba goes, bitch, I was putting the last twist on your old filter. Some woman came and grabbed my zipper, started zipping on my zipper. I tried to look up to see who it was, must have hit my head on the manifold. Then he said, I've heard about her. She lives way down the street. She lives way down the street. Why do I tell you such a story? To tell you that we take ourselves way too serious most of the time.
Oh. Now I gotta kill it. All righty.
Did you laugh?
Hopefully y'all laughed at that one. Not a word. There they go. Like I said, it's Dennis Wanberg is one of our favorites, and hopefully everyone will enjoy him as much as we do. That's a little older clip, but it's one we had heard before, and we just wanted to share it because we just, like I said, he is so funny. Oh my gosh. All right, moving right along. Look at that. She's already knows what I wanted to ask. So Wednesday night, of course, after the opening ceremony. So the way, just so you know what we're planning on doing, the dinner will start at 4:30. And then around 10 till 6 or so, we will move upstairs, which is where the meal is served, downstairs into Exhibit Hall 2, which we're using as our auditorium. And that's where he will have his show. And will be from approximately 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. When that's over, that gives us about 30 minutes to kind of get ready for the opening ceremony. The opening ceremony will start at 7:30, finish around 8 o'clock. And then from there, we will move into the Wednesday night Trails in Dance, which Tony Oxendine will be the, yeah, thank you. Tony Oxendine will be emceeing that event, which is with the GSI Color School. And of course, we also have the Ghost Riders Band. That's when they'll kick off because they're there as well. One thing Tonia pointed out that I had missed. So during the dinner part, when he's there, you know, normally you just eat dinner, everybody visits, everybody talks. We've actually got a little special event there during that, because if you're in Shreveport, if you didn't know, where Elvis really started was in Shreveport at the Memorial Hall. Thank you. Well, I'm glad I got this support up. Louisiana Hayride. So we have got a tribute artist of Elvis Presley that's going to be there and doing some Elvis songs during the dinner. So that's a special deal that we have cooked up that is nowhere on any of the flyers that you'll see. But we thought that would be a really neat little deal to have, because Elvis will be in the house. Jelvis is what he goes by. So tours. You know, we were a little slow start on the tours. We had actually a lot of the problem had to do along trying to get bus agreements and stuff, but that's all behind us now. We have got several really nice tours lined up for everybody. If you look at the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to have a tour before the convention. Experience New Orleans starts on Sunday, and we will actually, a lot of sightseeing, lots of things to do over the 4 days and 3 nights in New Orleans. Then we actually have a coach bus that we will transport you from New Orleans to Shreveport. So that if you would like to, you can actually fly into New Orleans, experience New Orleans, and then you can take the bus, the coach bus, and travel back to Shreveport. And then you would be able to, you know, if you wanted to, then you could fly out of Shreveport or however you'd like to do that. But again, we've already had several that signed up for that. And that's just a really neat trip before the convention, which I thought was a little different and a really cool idea. The other thing you see here is the bowling after party. It is my understanding they've only been a couple of after parties. Both of them had to do with Disneyland. Well, we don't have Disneyland in Shreveport, but we do have a really cool bowling alley. And so from 10:30 to 1 o'clock, we are going to, there's be a bus available there for $5. You can take it there. It's only $40. And a little bit later, I've got another flyer I'm going to show you on that. But there's that $40 includes like a snack bar, you know, you want to munch. There's a Sunday bar that you'll be able to enjoy. And of course, Elvis will be in the house. So if you would go to the next slide. Whoop, back one. There we go. I know you saw the treats, Bonnie. You're trying to speed it up. Just stay in order, please. Shreveport City Tours. Those will be really fun events. It's about 2 hours that we believe we're going to do those a couple times a day. A lot of sights to see around Shreveport that'll be the Down on the Farm we're just going to have that one time. And basically, there's a dairy farm out there that's a very popular. They do tours and stuff there. And you're going to have Like I said, gonna have that set up. Historic Natchitoches. You know, when you look at that word, it does not look like Natchitoches to me, but they tell me that's the way it's pronounced. But Natchitoches is only about an hour from Shreveport, but it's a neat town. I actually went down there myself. Tonia went down there with me. A lot of just beautiful place. But it was actually established in 1714, as it says on the flyer, and it's actually the oldest town that was from the Louisiana Purchase. They've put a fort up there. We actually got permission. We were kind of shocked that that they would actually let us square dance in the fort, but they have given us permission to do so. So we'll be able to do a little extra dancing while we're down in Natchitoches. Of course, I don't think there's no one that doesn't know that my absolute favorite of all times tour is Gator and Friends. If you looked at Facebook yesterday, the zip line had actually been closed for a couple of years. It just opened. So Tonia and I, along with Phil and Melody Morehouse, were there patiently waiting to get there to be one of the first ones to ride the reopened zip line that went across the Lake of Gators. But besides the gators, it's also a petting zoo. So they got some exotic animals. They got a Z donkey, or actually several. But again, I like zip lines. Zip lines were cool. We're here. You can see we're fine. So there was no problems going across the Alligator Lake. Again, I think everybody will. Personally, I think you'll enjoy it if you like the zip line. They've actually upgraded the zip lines, so it seemed to be smoother than the ones I had done before. They've added a different brake system. They've got different things, but again, zip lining is really cool, and it's my favorite. And if you don't do it, I think personally that you're really missing out on something. So what we got next? Next slide, please. Tale of treats. It's this slide, and I know it's a little busy. We kept telling them how much square dancers like ice cream. Something about ice cream and square dancers. And they took the hint, and they actually came up with this tale. Now, this is not an official tour, even though I've got it listed on tours. I have the listing. They have actually made a listing because they thought, you know what you're talking about, you're probably not the only folks that likes lots of treats and lots of sweets. So they have got this top 10 places in Bossier and Shreveport that you can get. And of course, our favorite, if you can't probably see it real good, there is the boardwalk, which is a really neat, large shopping area right across the river from where we're at. It's called the boardwalk, and they have the chocolate crocodile. Of course they do, right? So that's also something that is really good and that we think that people would enjoy. But again, Tale of Treats, you can definitely get your sweet tooth when you get down there. Next slide, please. This is the education clinics and more. This is some of the things that, a lot of this is what you see at the national conventions, but of course we have ours are a little different. And first of all, our keynote speaker, Tom Miller, is going to talk about leadership, being someone who makes our hobby better. Tom has had some health issues recently, and definitely would like anybody here to be in prayer for him and his family. Hopefully he'll pull through and be fine. But he's got a great topic, and I think one that is near and dear to a lot of us as far as leadership. I'm also the organizational roundtable. Marilyn Schmidt has done a really nice job in putting this together. Youth dancing, the do's and don'ts. Up in her area, they've done a lot of really good work and have got a good bit of youth activity, and they've done a good job with that. And I think this will all help us because we all want more youth involved in dancing. Nope. Okay, education clinics and more. How about Sew and Save? So I'm sure everybody has seen a gator cut out patterns, right? So if you haven't, now you have the picture, and you can truthfully say you've seen a gator that knows how to cut out. But again, one of the things that we had heard about, if you put the education session and all the kind of the nuts and bolts of Sew and Save, where all the patterns were. If you get them all in the same room, sometimes it gets a little busy. We've actually got it in two different rooms. They're side by side up in the education area, up on the second level. So that way, when they're doing the education sessions with Sew and Save, it'll be by itself. And then, Bonnie, I know you said last year they ran out of some of the things. Where are you at on that? Can you kind of give us an update on your end?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I was muted. We are close to 800 items so far and still sewing. Last year they only had about 250 of the free giveaways, and they ran out Thursday morning, and a lot of people were disappointed. So we are doing every effort to make sure we have plenty of the giveaway items. We're collecting door prizes that you can get free tickets to take part in, trace your patterns. We have a repair station, of course, the pattern tracing. So lots of fun things to do. We'll have some make and take projects as well.
Thank you very much. If in doubt, go to the person who knows, right? If you can, let's see, you can go to the next one.
We were getting there.
All righty. So education, clinics, and more. The fashion show. I think this is going to be a hoot. They've got, it's animal themed. We've got Kermit's going to be there. I think is going to be our MC. Rachel Rose has done a lot of good work putting this together. She's having a lot of fun with it. We've got, I know she'd sent out a request for different people to be in the show, and I think she sold out the number of people that she wanted to do it really quickly. So again, that's going to be a lot of fun. Be on Saturday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in Exhibit Hall 2. And again, that's going to be just a lot of fun. And look forward to everybody being there. It's always a highlight. You know, I mentioned I was going to have another slide, even though I know this is under education and clinics. I want to do one more, a little more emphasis on the bowling after the after party. This one's got a lot more than what I said. You got ice cream, finger food, bowling, arcade, karaoke, dancing, and it's $40. I mean, that's hard to beat. As I was mentioning earlier, to my knowledge, the after parties probably haven't been done since Disneyland. I actually went to one of those back in '76, but it's been a while. But again, they put a lot of work into this, and I think you'll have a lot of fun. Again, it's an Hawaiian theme. And so what we've got buses going through, because this is starting a little early for the question, Amelia, that you just put on there. So even though it starts at 10:30, we actually have rotated the food where the food and stuff doesn't start at 10:30. The food and stuff that doesn't start until more like 11. And it's going to be out for an hour. And we did that purposely. That way people that might not be involved in an after party could come over and get started. But the goodies and all that kind of stuff really aren't going to start more like 11 o'clock, again, to give time for the people who attend the other after parties to get there and have a good time. Thank you for the question, because I forgot to bring that up. All righty. Next question, or next slide, please. Or question. Okay, so as you can see from the flyer on the proposed dance clinics, we have a full lineup. Nelda Eaton has done a fantastic job on this. You know, a lot of intros, a lot of round dance clinics. Of course, definitely a lot of square dance clinics with intros to advanced, challenge, hex, silicon square, all kinds of different things. Like I said, I'm just really impressed with what Nelda has put together for all of us to do. And then we, you know, it's here lately, last few years, we haven't really done much with clogging. And Lanita Hammett in Arkansas is the director of clogging, and we're going to put a lot more emphasis back into it this year. Basically, in our exhibition hall, when that's not used, as you know, that auditorium is not used a lot. And so basically all the off times not being used, she's going to be in there clogging. As well, we're gonna have some real cool exhibitions in there too. But with the clogging, she wants to have, there'll be some intro, as well as just regular clogging events. And, it was really cool that I didn't realize that there was a couple of cousins that we had missed on the front end, but Clagetta and Stomper are going to be there naturally as well too, which are the Gator cousins that are going to come in and help with the clogging, so that Allie and Gator doesn't get all the attention when we're in there. So, but again, it'll be a fun event. Next slide, please. So we have Sally Schmidt's done a really nice job with the leadership certificate. I can't even talk today. Program, and as you can see there, you've got if you're going to get that certificate, you've got 2 mandatory sessions, 4 cores, and a couple of electives. Again, nice job putting that together, and you got to, of course, you got to attend Gator University. That way you can be a little smarter when you, because when you get this wild side teaching, things, happen a little different. So far, we have 2 exhibition groups. They've been involved before, but always, always, always a pleasure to have the California Heritage Dancers as well as the River City Riders involved. And again, to me, it's a highlight because those folks are so talented and do so many things. And in fact, there's actually going to be an hour-long program that California Heritage Dancers could have put on the history of square dancing. And I'd almost like to make that required to go see because it's going to be really nice. But again, we want everybody's support for the exhibition groups and as well as all the programs that we have to go. The other thing that we're doing, I mentioned earlier with our tribute artist for Elvis going to be there. He's not going to be there just on Wednesday night. He's actually going to be there throughout the convention. He's going to be there at the bowling alley. That is a Hawaii theme event. So how else can you celebrate a Hawaii theme event without Elvis, right? So he's going to be there taking pictures. We're going to have a photograph booth outside the outside the hall number 1. Where you can take pictures of, just if you want to take pictures of just pictures in general, but he'll be there part of that time as well. And he's probably going to be involved in several of the events. So Elvis will be in the house, and I think everybody will enjoy that as well. All righty, next slide. Of course, the Ghost Riders Dance Band will be there. That's always a treat. I think it's a highlight as well. It's all they're not only great guys, but they're just a lot of fun. So Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night, they'll be playing for our enjoyment. And again, definitely a highlight. I think everybody probably that's here has heard these guys, but to have them here at the National, I've heard them outside of the Nationals, but just having them at the Nationals is just a real treat, and look forward to those guys being here. Next slide. Vendors and showcase of ideas. Of course, we got a lot of vendors that'll be there this year. There's probably a few more that's not on this list, but as of when we put this slide together, that's who we had. A lot of the ones that you're familiar with and have seen the last few years are there, plus a couple of new ones. But we need to support our vendors. It's back in the old days, some of the state dances had several vendors. Now you have 1 or 2, and we definitely want to support our vendors so they'll continue to come to the Nationals because there's a lot of cool stuff that they got you just can't get from any place else, and we just need to support our vendors. Showcase of ideas. Marilyn has done this for many, many years. Always does a fantastic job putting that in there. If there's anybody listening that hasn't signed up, you need to contact to Marilyn Schmidt. She does have some booths still available. And I think if you got information you want to share with the masses, what better place than to get you a booth there to showcase of ideas. It'll be right there in the live band and variety hall, and we'll be open for you to see there, to be there and see the different things that the different areas have. All right, Next slide, questions. Did I put everybody to sleep?
No, we did have a question. We didn't see a location for the bid session. I believe that's in the auditorium.
Yeah, that's correct.
And the question was, will there be cities bidding for the 2028 national? Do you know?
I do know there is one in discussions right now. Probably not at liberty to say, but I do know who it is. And they are working to put together a package as we speak.
That's good news.
Yes, it is. It's very good news. I forgot to put that on my map, and now that's twice I've been chastised because I forgot to put it on the map. But yes, it definitely will be in Exhibit Hall 2 at 9 o'clock on Friday morning is when we'll have it.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions for Ted? How many states have you been to visiting?
25. Actually, 24. The 25th one is coming up because we personally have not been to South Carolina, but we'll be there next month. So when we do that, it'll be 25 states.
Anybody else have any questions for Ted?
I know I didn't get the piece of paper filled out that I was supposed to. I knew somebody would have to say something.
What piece of paper were you supposed to fill out?
The one for USDA so I could get the little deal. See?
What can I tell you? All right. Well, listen, I can tell you from personal experience that the drive from Dallas to Shreveport is not a bad drive. It's a fairly straight shot. So that's how I'm getting there. I've done it 2 or 3 times now, so it is an easy shot. Anybody else have any questions? All right. Well, listen, it's going to be a great part. Oh, go ahead.
Are we with USDA going staying in the Hilton, Mylene? Okay, thanks.
If you made your reservations like you were supposed to and not late like me almost being in another hotel. Ted had to help me out there, but yes, we are there.
Yeah, it got real interesting, just kind of to add to that. So historically, you could set up a block, and the Hilton, for whatever reason, did not have a way for us to do a block. It was really weird. So what we did is everybody that requested a block, we gave you 2 weeks head start on getting reservations. And then actually, we still didn't fill up until about October. So hopefully everybody that meant to stay there was able to get in there. And also just to say, Tonia and I really appreciate this opportunity to put this presentation together and speak to you guys and answer any questions that you had. This was really kind of cool.
Yeah. Do you have any gators left in Ways and Means?
We do. We order those things like 32 at a time, and I think we've got about 15 left is kind of off the cuff. We have a few naked gators, but we sell those. We only sell those but we have to have special garment bags for those because they're naked. But other than that, you have of course you have Gator is the guy gator, and you have Allie, the female, in her real pretty dress, all dressed up. They're both dressed up in, of course, the Louisiana official colors for the Louisiana National.
Don't forget Diego.
Oh yeah, there's Diego. Texas Diego is one of a kind, because he's got his hat. That's kind of a salute, I guess, to the 75th to make sure we got there. Because
hey, does anybody at the USDA want to vote? Bid on our very special Mardi Gras gators, which are being auctioned off tonight. We can take your bid as the starting bid. These are handmade, one of a kind, absolute originals. And if you want one, I'll have Patty make you an absolute duplicate if you'll pay $100 for it. And then you'll have a one-of-a-kind original, just like the other one-of-a-kind originals we're auctioning off tonight. These have got the Mardi Gras beads on them, the Mardi Gras dress, the Mardi Gras top. They are Gator is blinged out like crazy. with all of his gold on him. It's really, really cool. You guys probably should have seen them on Facebook somewhere.
See, y'all had first shot. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I was asked, I guess today, and I'll just, since I'm on the call, I don't know how many of y'all know about the Texas Challenge. But the Texas Challenge that I put out about 3 years ago to the state of Texas was, if they gave us 500 registrations, I would walk from the Shreveport Convention Center to Texas, probably about 25 miles. I started warming up this week because they're at about 463.
Oh, wow.
We almost have 500 from Texas. So actually 2 days ago, I went on a little 10-mile jaunt, getting my legs in shape because it looks like they're going to hit the 500 goal. I should have set it up just a little higher.
Yeah. Well, especially with them hosting the next convention, it's
exactly.
They're going to meet it. Oh, Gary said he's coaching Ted.
That's right. He is.
Well, we've also got the archive room, which is all of the history. So if any of you, want to research the history of the National Square Dance Convention, that's something that the NEC holds very dear to their hearts, and it's all the program books and everything, and that'll all be on display as well. So lots of good stuff to learn, in old history and new things and new ideas. So I think it's going to be great. All right. Anybody else have any other comments or questions for Ted about the convention? All right. Well, then we look forward to seeing you all there. I know, like I say, Ted and Tonia and their crew have just done an amazing job of being out and promoting and finding some wonderful stuff. So we'll look forward to seeing everybody there. If you have friends that aren't registered, get them registered as soon as possible. Unfortunately, my children can't come because they're not allowed on the airplane. Well, they could go on the airplane, but Mama's not going to take them. But one of them's trying to be part of the webinar right now. So anyway, thank you all so much. Our next webinar will be in April. We did have a date change on that. It is now the first Saturday of April, and that's going to be all about USDA and the special programs we offer, all of the tools that we have to help you and your clubs be successful. Thank you again, Ted, Tonia, and your crew in-house there. Have a great dance tonight. And yeah. As I say, my children were trying to be involved. There's Tonia. There you go. There's the crew. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to end the recording now.
Take care.